My name is David Zokaitis, and earlier today the mayor introduced the topic of human rights. That's something I'm very interested in. And a few weeks ago I saw a television drama that violated rights in such an appalling manner that I had to come to my favorite venue, that's right, my favorite venue, and talk to the city and the councilors about human rights and how important they are and how not everybody in our culture values human rights. I watched a crime show and I was amazed at the underlying message, and the underlying message is that human rights have no value and police do anything they want to. This is really bad for a democracy, but it's great if you want to fire up a dictatorship. That's the theme I saw. In one scene, a lawyer was rather eloquently and peaceably talking to police about his civil rights, and the official response, arrest this man. That's not what should happen in a reasonable society. You should be free to express your civil rights to police officers. But the guy was arrested, and this teaches anybody who's watching the show that they should not protest their rights. Bad thing to happen. In a different scene on the same show, there was a casual mention of solitary confinement as though it was a normal activity. We don't want to abuse prisoners with solitary confinement, but in this show, it's just a reasonable thing to do. In another scene, oh, this is a great one, police wanted to search a building, but they did not have any level of suspicion. They couldn't get a search warrant. So instead of doing what they should and collecting evidence, they condemned the building and sent in a SWAT team. Terrifying people, stealing their stuff, displaying maximum force, but no suspicion. Now the problem with doing all this in a TV show is maybe it's going to happen in real life, and we don't want that to happen. In a different scene, police officers were described as heroes. Well, maybe sometimes they are, but I mean, I look at a police officer and I see a man. I don't necessarily see a hero or an angel or a devil. They're people doing a job. That's pretty much all we have. And we don't want to teach excessive allegiance to civil authority, because that's unrealistic. A certain level is good, but certainly not to excess. Oh, and in a different scene, they needed to get some cooperation out of a prisoner who didn't want to cooperate, so they just banged him around a little bit, terrified him. That's assault, but it's official strategy, at least in this show. In a different scene, the police lied to a suspect. I tend to value honesty and integrity. If you teach people to lie in one context, before you know it, they'll be lying in a different context. And if you want to teach police officers that they are heroes, they could at least be honest. Different scene, lying to the public. Not good. We want to be able to trust our government, and if the government, through the police officers, lie to the public, what do we have? Not good whatsoever. Oh, and in scene H, they outfitted a prisoner with a shock belt. Basically a remote control taser. Kind of risky. If you've got your button on that finger, how long is it going to be before you spill your coffee and bump that finger and there goes your prisoner vibrating all over the floor? If you make assault too easy, it happens too often. Something we really should not try to do in this country. In another scene, police had to stop somebody quickly, so they put a few bullets in their chest. I remember in the old days, police used to stop with just one, and now it's multiple. You would think in 2016 we'd have non-lethal alternatives. Better wrap it up here. One of the problems with this whole business is it's teaching people that our rights are not important. And another problem with it is that police here and our local government learn from what they watch on TV. I've seen cases where we do not have the right to trial and brought them to your attention. And my recommendation is to turn off your TV and do something athletic. And as usual, there is beauty in the world, and with that I have to bid you a good evening.